Hi, I'm Jill Chivers from Shop Your Wardrobe and 16 Style Types.
And I'm Imogen Lamport from Inside Out Style and 16 Style Types. What is your criteria for deciding that an outfit is great? Are you dressing for figure flattery? Is that your number one thing? Now, this is often many people's and many of the articles, most of the magazine articles and all those sorts of things, it's assumed that figure flattery is the number one criteria. And for many people it is.
Maybe we should define, what do we mean when we say figure flattery? What are we talking about?
So I think this is making the best of figures, but often, like in many ways, it's can I look taller and slimmer?
Yeah.
I think that's probably the crux of it for many people.
Yeah.
But then it's not for everyone. So look, I think, when I think about myself, for other people is it for starting a conversation? I know one of the things you like to do is you like to be able to, it's about relational aspects.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, figure flattery for me, the boundaries for that for me are much broader than they are for other things. So, for example, my personal colouring, I stick pretty closely religiously to my colour palette. The figure flattery, I'm aware of the things that work for me, and it's kind of like there are the things I won't break, but within that I have a fairly broad interpretation of what I will and I won't do, and I can see photographs of myself, when I do a series of them, say for Imogen's Inside Out Style blog, I can see how some things make me look thinner and some things don't. That doesn't cause me to go to the things that don't make me look as slim and get rid of them if I love them. And one of the things that I actually know is not slimming is faux fur. And I wear it a lot in winter because I love it. Now, I'm bigger on the top, relatively big-breasted, so it's kind of even worse to be wearing faux fur, which is a bulk sort of adding thing. But I love it so much that I kind of, I don't really care.
You don't care.
Yeah, what it gives me on the other side far outweighs that.
And I think that's the thing often when we're deciding, it's what are the things that really matter?
Yeah.
And I know for me, figure flattery is not my number one, but certainly, looking healthy is, which is why I stick with my colours.
Yeah.
There are some people who go, I don't care that black doesn't suit me, I'm just going to wear it.
Yeah.
Or, it makes me look like death. I don't care that this colour is in fashion, I want to wear it and it doesn't matter to me. And I just put more makeup on or whatever. For me, I go, I'd just rather the colour did the work for me.
Yes.
And that it really suits me. So that's something I think I always look at. And then I've never been a tiny person. So there is an element there where I've got a bit of a tummy and, I'd rather it's not the thing that people noticed. I'd rather it was slimmer than it is, but so I will dress in a way that is helping to minimise that on the whole.
Yeah.
But not everything I wear is the most slimming thing. Like there's probably some silhouettes that are the most slimming, but it's not, I won't do that to the elimination of everything else every day.
Yeah.
That's not my number one. So in many ways, my number one is kind of expressing personality and how I'm feeling, my mood of the day.
Yeah.
That would probably be something that I would be considering when I'm putting an outfit together. But then I won't buy something new. So if I'm in a store and I'm trying clothes on, if I put something on, I go, oh, that makes me look and feel chunky.
Yeah.
It's not coming home with me.
Yeah. So, figure flattery, I think one of the most useful strategies is to reflect on where it sits on your criteria in terms of what's important for me when I'm putting my outfits together and how good I feel about myself. Because how good you feel about yourself, that's entirely an internal experience. Yes, it might use external feedback, it might use the opinions of others or what you see in the mirror or in photographs, that's input, but it really is an internal experience and nobody but you can answer that. And where figure flattery fits on your criteria, I think that's a useful thing to know. For me, knowing that it's down on the criteria, it's not off the criteria, but it's lower, it's really helpful for me because it helps me with getting dress decisions, it helps me with wardrobe reviews and culling decisions, it helps me with shopping and acquisition decisions, it helps with every aspect of my style journey to know that is not my number one criteria. And I think that's a useful strategy in and of itself. What is my criteria and where does figure flattery sit on it?
Yeah. I mean, I certainly know for myself that things I'll get rid of are often things that I go, I just don't feel great at them. And that not feeling great often comes back to figure flattery.
Right.
that it is there. It's in that top few things.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily always number one though.
Right.
It's not at the exclusion of everything else. It's just, but it's certainly pretty high up.
Yeah.
That if I'm not feeling great, it's usually because I go, I just feel lumpy and bumpy in that, or I feel like it's not a great shape for me, or whatever it is. So every time I see myself, I get a little bit of a feeling of downness, like,
Yeah.
you know, I go to the bathroom and I go, oh, yeah, no, not great. You know, not, you know, oh, not what I'd hoped. Because, you know, I like to have a vision in my head of what I might look like. And reality sometimes doesn't always match up.
I know, that pesky reality, interfering with the vision.
But, you know, I've got a wide pelvis and I haven't got a waist. And there are those things that, you know, my image in my head that is my body is very different from what it is. So therefore that figure flattery does come in. And I'm sure, and this is why I was even brought to image consulting, is because I used to sew. And, you know, when you spend hours making something, a lot of time and effort and some money to make something, and then when it looks not great on you, that was the thing that made me go, well, I need to know what it does is that works to me. And I think that's why many people come.
Yeah.
Why many of you have come to Inside Out Style, and I know with my body shape bubbles they're really popular. It's because that is something people want to know, well, what suits my body?
Yeah.
And because it's that figure flattery element. And the thing that to remember is not just body shape. And I mean, I had an email today of someone saying, well, none of my, you know, I don't fit any of those body shapes. It's like, well, you do, but you've also got body variations that layer on top that also impact. You have body proportions that layers on top that also impact what are the figure flattery things that are actually going to work. So you might be able to take these bits of the body shape information, but then you've got to layer this bit here and this bit here and this bit here, and that will then give you your figure flattery guidelines or your body, you know, guidelines, because body shape only tells you a little bit about what suits your body and what is flattering. You do have to put body proportions and body variations in there as well as things like scale and texture and sheen, and I mean, like there's so many different bits and pieces to dressing your physical form. It's not just body shape, but they all come into they're all those figure flattery elements.
Yeah. And I think it is tempting to want a really quick, easy solution that applies to absolutely everything in your wardrobe. I understand how alluring that idea is, and occasionally I will have these sort of fantasy moments where I too want just sort of one simple thing to remember. And I think what we are discovering, certainly with 16 style types, and you have known for all of the time you've been working in the image consulting field, is it is multi-layered. There is a complexity to it, and it takes time to build a truly authentic style. That, to me, it's a never-ending process, and I'm perfectly cool with that. In fact, that's a positive aspect of it to me. But it really is not a sort of once done, always done kind of thing. Now, how often you return to it, that's a personal decision. Many things come into that, but it is a time-consuming process.
Yes. So when you're thinking, and it's interesting because it's this, well, do I take figure flattery into consideration because I'm not a slim model or not? You know, that could be why. Like I go, maybe if I was really slim, I wouldn't. But then what's really interesting is I was once working with a ballet dancer. We're talking tall and very slim. Yes. She had just as many criteria about what was flattering on her shape as I did. Yeah. Yet she was very slim. But it was like, oh no, I don't like how it sits here, and I don't like how it does, you know, and it was like, you know, I don't find it, and I was going, okay, so this is a very slim person who also had their own figure flattery guidelines. So I think that it's really an important thing for many of us, but it's not the always. So for some people like you, like it's starting a conversation, it's having a relationship with people. Yeah. Sometimes it's, you know, for me, it's sometimes go, well, I want to express my personality. Like, so I'll wear things where I'll go, it's not the most slimming thing. It may not be a fattening thing, but it's not the most slimming. But I love the pattern or the texture, or there's something about it that's my person. It's like a personality.
It appeals to you.
It appeals to me. Yeah. And there's something about it that it's very much a personality element.
Yeah. And I really enjoyed your stylish thoughts where you featured Lee Wilkinson, and she talked about her goal was to look approachable and interesting. And I just thought, that's fantastic. I really like that. Yeah. You know, it's easy to remember, it's simple, but you know, that was really about who she's being in the world and you know, how she's interacting in the world and how she feels in her own body. And of course there's, you know, you could ask her in a year and it might be different at another point in time. But I think what that demonstrates is the huge variety of things that we can use as a criteria for getting dressed and feeling good about ourselves. And this is not to say figure flattery should not be important. If it is number one for you, that can be perfectly cool. There's no right or wrong about that. But it's just interesting to note it doesn't have to be number one. You can look terrific and it isn't number one. So it's just not these hard and fast simple rules that, you know, if you know this, you know everything.
And I think, like, there's certainly people too, it's well, I want to, you know, have fun and use my creativity.
Right.
You know, that getting dressed is all about, I'm going to be experimenting. This is like a little experimental thing I do every day.
Yeah.
For some people, it's even self-amusement, you know.
Yes. We found that during our 16 Style Types research process. One of our interviewees would talk about how she would set these little challenges for herself just to amuse herself. I just found that just absolutely whimsical and just so quirky and charming that she did this to amuse herself. I just love that.
And so this is why, you know, there's no one set of rules, and it's something to think about. We'd love you to share what it is that you like. What is your things like? Why, you know, what are you dressing for?
Yeah. And where does figure flattery fit on your criteria at this moment?
If it fits on it at all. Because for some people it may, and for some people it may not. If it does, why is it? And if it doesn't, you know, if it's something that's lower down your list, what are the things that you are dressing for?
Yeah.